Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YouTube channel of Web3 Auth. We are so excited to have you here. My name is Yash, and I handle developer relations at Web3 Auth. With this channel, our aim is to actually make videos to get you developers started and learn something new about the Web3 space. We'll be creating content and learning alongside you, especially me, I should say, because I was into Web 2 for quite a while and I'm shifted towards Web 3. So it's like a learning experience for me altogether as well throughout. So, for today's episode, we have a very special guest, our very own Chai, the head of engineering at Web3 Auth. So, let's come on, welcome him on stage, and let's get started. So, Chai, what are we going to do today?
Today we are going to build a simple NFT dApp. Okay, so let's say
Mhm.
you have your own NFT collection and you want users to buy your NFT collection. You just build a simple dApp for it, right? So that's exactly what we're going to build, and let's
Mhm.
try to do it under an hour. Okay.
Right. Only in 1 hour, I'm going to become a millionaire by selling my graphics. That sounds perfect to me. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So let's get started, Chai. So what are we going to do? Like, how we are going to build this? Like, can you tell us about that?
Yes. So most of the dApps nowadays, right? Okay, they are more front end heavy. Okay, so we are going to be splitting the work into two parts. The first part would be writing the contracts. To write the contracts, we'll be using the Open Zeppelin library to get
Mhm.
some audited smart contracts for NFTs. The
Okay.
second part would be to write the front end where you'd actually sell these NFTs. Okay, to
Mhm.
create kind of a small mini marketplace. You'd be
Right.
listing it, and users would be able to buy these NFTs. Okay, yeah.
Perfect. So what
Uh,
is the tech stack we are going to use for this?
yes. So for the contracts, we'll be using Truffle framework for this, and
Mhm.
for the front end, we'll be using a simple React app, and
Mhm.
we'll be integrating Web3 Auth into it. So Yash can actually tell us about Web3 Auth.
Definitely, I
and
would love to tell everyone about Web3 Auth, but like I would love
Mhm,
for them to experience this, and that's the
mhm.
special part of our like today's DApp, right? People can just log into the socials using Web3 Auth, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we'll see about what are all the different moving parts with Web3 Auth, and we'll explore the integration, and we'll try
Mhm.
to buy some NFTs. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect, sounds good. So let's get started, Chaz. Would you like to share your screen and we can just get started on that?
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So as you guys can see, I'm starting completely blank in a empty terminal. So let me just jump off right here and then
Mhm.
do npm init dash y. Okay, so this
Right.
just creates a simple package JSON. Okay, so I like
Mm-hmm.
to usually start with a clean package JSON file.
Right.
Um, so at this point, I want to mark this package as just private because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to publish this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be creating two folders, one for
Okay.
smart contracts. Okay, so I'll
Mm-hmm.
be calling it Solidity, and we'll
Okay.
also have a front end app as well. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll be creating another folder for that.
Great.
And in order to manage the extensions very smoothly, we'll have a .ps code folder which will set up the environment for development. Okay.
I guess chai special environment over there because to do like you have like a very complicated process, I should say.
No, man. This is what many people do actually. Okay, so I'm just going to write it like this, where
Okay.
I'm just copy pasting some simple config. This basically says that when you are inside front end folder, use the config of front end. When you're inside Solidity folder, use the config of
Mhm.
Solidity. That's
Perfect.
pretty much what this does. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Awesome.
Mhm.
So now
So
between Solidity and front end, I had just one question. So like, will this be directly linked to it? Because now I kind of know because of the experiences I had building a dApp, but somebody new, like how does the
Mhm.
Solidity contact actually interact and get into our front end?
So usually there are two ways to do this. One of them is through this Lerna package way, where we link these two packages. That's one of the
Mhm.
ways. The second way is basically to several people just compile the contracts and then copy paste the ABI into the front end. Okay, so
Right.
ABI is the application binary interface.
Mhm.
That would be your contracts interface when you want to interact with the deployed contract. When you want to interact with the deployed contract on blockchain. Okay. For this demo, I don't think we'll be using Ethereum mainnet because it will
Mhm.
cost us several $100 just to mint an NFT.
Right.
But yeah, I
We'll
think
be
we can
using
use
some
something like
testnet, or we'll be using the learners package then.
yeah, we can use Ropsten or
Mhm.
some
Zigbee
some other
maybe.
test that may go early.
Right.
We'll see as
Perfect.
we move along.
Cool. Let's start. So I guess next we have to install the packages now.
Yes, that is correct. So
Perfect.
in order to manage this particular dependencies, okay, so let me just install a couple of dev dependencies here. Okay, so I
Hmm.
choose the following ones because they are pretty standard, and I like to have a
Right.
good linting setup
Hmm.
in my environment. Okay,
Hmm.
so I also would
Perfect.
like to define some things like this. Okay, so learner. So whenever you commit something, right, it basically runs the
Hmm.
linter. This makes
Right.
ensures that you don't have any uh, bugs committing committing any very simple bugs. Okay, yeah.
Right.
So
Perfect.
I can just run yarn at this point,
Hmm.
which will actually start installing all of the dependencies.
Right.
Since I'm using Lerna, I would also like
Hmm.
to have a lerna.json file.
Okay. So Learner is like what exactly it is. Like how does it work, Learner?
Yeah, so Lerna is just a monorepo management tool. So let's
Hmm.
say technically Solidity and frontend should be separate repos, right, on GitHub.
Right.
But since we are using that as a single repo,
Hmm.
we are going to use Lerna to actually manage the dependencies of each of the folders and then link each of the folders if necessary. Okay,
Okay. So that is what Learner is going to handle it for us. Okay.
exactly. Okay, it is an
Perfect.
expert at monorepo handling. Okay,
Awesome. So in the meantime, while our like packages are being installed, I'd like to tell everyone that if you have any questions at any time, just join us on Discord. It's as simple as that, discord.gg/web3auth. And we'll be there to answer all of your questions regarding this tutorial and handling Web3 auth or anything over there. Just hit us a GM over there, I should say that. And then you have all your questions answered. So we can get started on, I guess the packages have been installed. We can get started further, right?
yes, I'm just setting up my code environment where I'm setting up the lint and everything. So this
Hmm.
usually helps me iterate very quickly. Okay,
Hmm.
so while writing your code, right, if you have good linter, it really
Right.
simplifies JavaScript development. And as people know, developing JavaScript is such a huge pain in the ass. Um,
Right.
yeah,
So you have
so we
already
like to
like a git
simplify that.
ignore like a whole template ready over here.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, I'm just setting up very simple configurations. Okay, this is just
Hmm.
TypeScript, CSS lint, and then adding a git
Hmm.
ignore just to ignore the node modules, etc. Okay, so
Right.
yeah, this should improve now, hopefully. Yeah, as you can see, it's improved now. We don't want to commit the node modules folders, right? Yeah,
Right. Perfect.
and we should also tell the ESLint to ignore certain folders.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, ignore.
let me do
Perfect.
that. Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
So
Cool. So we have all this set up. So in the meantime, if somebody is having problems setting this up, they can easily see our GitHub repo. We'll be publishing this over there as well, the boilerplate as well as like the final project as well over there. So people can easily see this. So I guess all the setup has been done. Is there anything remaining, Chai?
not much actually. So this will set up our root project, and usually I like to commit when I reach a certain stage. So I'm just going to commit it at this point. Okay, so that created a
Perfect.
simple commit for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
So now,
Cool.
yeah. So now let's set up our smart contracts. Okay.
Hmm.
So for doing this, I would like to use Truffle framework for this. Okay. So
Right.
there are obviously other alternatives like Hardhat, etc. So Hardhat is usually
Hmm.
used for bigger projects since we are just developing one smart contract.
Hmm.
Truffle is a more bare bones framework, which usually is used to quickly iterate. Okay.
Right.
Uh,
So basically, it will just create a like whole boilerplate Solidity project for us, and we can just code over that.
Exactly. Okay, so instead of me typing commands randomly, I'm just going to copy them from the Truffle documentation directly so that
Right.
everyone else can see them for the future use case as well. Okay,
Right. So we have just installed globally Truffle. We might need it like in the project folder or globally.
we need it globally first. Okay, we want to bootstrap a project, right? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we need it globally.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Mm.
Cool. So next, while Truffle is being installed, what are the things like we need to like know about Truffle? Like any specific problems or any specific way it interacts with our project?
So usually Truffle is very pretty bare bones, and the
Mm-hmm.
best part about it is it creates some directories for you. Okay, so first is the
Mm-hmm.
Solidity smart contracts, and it also has this concept of migrations. This helps you
Mm-hmm.
to directly deploy the contracts to your preferred network, and
Mm-hmm.
it also comes with a very good test suite. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and as everybody knows, that in case of smart contracts, testing is like very important. Okay, because you don't
Exactly.
want your customers to lose millions of dollars just because you did not actually test the smart contract which you wrote. Okay, and
Right.
usually we go through audits as well, but I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to talk about more about the audits in the coming minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Got it. So what kind of tool do we use for testing? Like Truffle does it for us. Like we should use some kind of a testing tool, right?
Yeah. So Truffle has support for testing directly. Truffle is a framework, as I initially mentioned, and
Mm-hmm.
we are going to write our tests using Mocha framework, and we are going to
Mm-hmm.
use Truffle for the assertions and contract deployments and all during the testing part. Okay, so
Perfect. Got it.
as we keep developing this, you guys will see that it's super simple. Truffle is like uh, very good in terms of the developer support, and in terms of, let's say, if you have any issues, right,
Mm-hmm.
you get a lot of support on the internet, as well as Stack Overflow for Truffle, which is pretty well
Right.
maintained. They also have a
Mm-hmm.
Gitter chat as well, where their developers are very responsive, so you guys can reach
Mm-hmm.
out there to get all your questions answered. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Perfect. Shout out to Truffle for that. Cool. So we have Truffle installed and we are going into a Solidity folder and like initiating the whole thing, Truffle in it, right?
yeah, that is correct. So
Perfect.
now, as you can see, it created a scaffold for me. Okay, it created three
Mm-hmm.
folders. One is contracts folder, which has a one file called migrations.sol. The second is migrations folder, which is how you will actually deploy your contracts. The third is a
Right.
test folder. Right now it's empty, but we're gonna fill it up pretty soon. Okay,
Right.
yeah. So
Awesome.
and this is the Truffle config file. This
Mm-hmm.
file is used to configure your Truffle project in general. You can write
Right.
everything about which networks you are going to connect to, okay, or
Mm-hmm.
which networks you want to test against, or some other test suite options like Mocha options, as we previously discussed that we'll be using Mocha for writing the tests. And you can
Right.
also configure the compilers of for
Mm-hmm.
Solidity as well here. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, how do I say it? It's pretty bare bones, but
Mm-hmm.
everything just works. TM.
That's perfect. That's all we need right now. Cool. So
Yeah.
going into migrations or Sol, I guess, and that is where we start.
Mm. Yeah, so this is where we start. So Truffle basically
Mm-hmm.
comes with a very simple bare bones migrations contract. This helps us, let's say, if you are going to change your contracts, right? This helps us track our migrations in the sense, okay, so let's say if you have V1, V2, V3, and so on,
Mm-hmm.
this migrations contract helps us track the different versions which have been deployed. Uh,
Okay.
some people delete this, some people keep it. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to keep it or not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to leave it as is for now. Okay, it doesn't do any
Mm-hmm.
harm since we are only deploying to testnet. Okay,
Right. Perfect.
that's that.
Otherwise,
Okay,
like people care about the space it is taking, and that's why they delete it.
yeah. Also, the gas fees required to deploy the migrations contract separately.
Right. Makes sense.
Always think about mainnet.
Okay, cool. So now we are going to do what? Like we have a migrations. Do we need to create our own like another Solidity like whole file, or what are we doing?
So at this point, I would like to actually add some dependencies.
Okay,
Okay,
makes sense.
before we write the smart contracts. Okay,
Right. So
so
we have
as you
just
guys can
initiated
see,
a package JSON over here.
yes, correct. I have just initiated
Okay.
a package JSON, and I'm going to add a couple of dependencies here. Okay. So the first dependency I'm going to add is Open Zeppelin slash contracts. So what is Open Zeppelin contracts? So let me
Mm-hmm.
just go to their website here, right?
Nice.
So they help you build secure smart contracts in Solidity. So what
Mm-hmm.
do they have? Okay, they have a really good set of contracts which include, like, some tokens, ERC721, ERC20, 7771155, and
Right.
several other tokens which relate to which
So
led
what
to
are these like
proxies.
ERC tokens? What are these like pre-existing contracts?
Yes, these are all pre-existing contracts which are audited, and Open Zeppelin, as an open source organization, takes
Hmm.
care of these regular audits and maintenance of all of these contracts. Okay, so
Okay.
usually, if you are writing your own NFT token, right, getting it
Hmm.
audited usually costs around $50,000 to $60,000. Okay,
Mm,
so
okay.
instead you can use pre-audited contracts which are
Hmm.
provided by Open Zeppelin for free for the community. Okay, so
Right.
all of these
So
are
in
MIT
terms of
licensed.
mhm, right. In terms of auditing, I wanted to ask, like, is it like a way of getting things secured properly?
In the sense, I mean, usually you write your contracts, you write your tests. Okay, that gives you a certain level of confidence, right? But there are always some
Hmm.
corner cases or some bugs which may creep up. Okay, so that is why if you are going to put real money into the contract, we always recommend that you get your contracts audited. Okay,
Hmm.
even let's say the people who are going to buy your token, right? They always want to see the contracts which are already audited. That gives
Right.
them an extra sense of security that the code does not behave, the code does not contain bugs. Okay, so if you
Makes
guys
sense.
remember, there have been several incidents of hacks in the blockchain space, okay, which keep happening
Hmm.
regularly. So
Right.
this auditing tries to minimize the impact of those. Okay, they help
Got
you
it.
catch those pretty common bugs, etc. Okay,
Perfect. Makes
yeah.
sense. So basically, Open Zeppelin is like kind of a CDN what we have for general JavaScript stuff. Like it hosts a lot of things. It's specifically for contracts over here, and we can just
Mm.
import those pre-existing things into our own smart contract.
Correct. Yes. So
Okay.
at this point, yes, that is totally true, and we absolutely need it. Okay. So at this point, I would also like to install some other dependencies as well, which are very essential developing uh, in terms of developing the our contracts. Okay.
Right.
So yeah.
So we are
So
including
Web3 is one of
Web3.js.
the most. Yes, this is
Right.
Web3.js, the most common library which is used to interact with Ethereum network and EVM
Right.
other chains as well. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm also going to install a couple of dependencies as well. These include, as you
Mhm.
can see, okay, they include several things related to ESLint
The first thing I
and
can see is at types chai, so it's like special of yours.
I wish. Chai is the assertion library. Okay, it's
Right.
used for assertion framework. It's used in testing. Okay, it's one of the most
Okay.
popular assertion libraries. So,
Right.
as you guys can see, we have some uh, dev dependencies which are related to Solidity code linting as well, because
Mhm.
as I initially mentioned, linting is like very important. Okay, so
Right.
I'm just going to run yarn bootstrap. Okay,
Right.
I did not add scripts here, so
Oh yeah, you need to add the bootstrap script. Okay, got it.
yeah.
So learn a bootstrap. That is it. And
Yeah, so when I run the bootstrap, it basically goes to each of the individual folders, looks at the package
mhm,
JSON, and then installs all of the dependencies and dev dependencies. Okay,
got it.
that is literally what it does. I can just
So
delete this
like in terms of we did not have learner, we have to go to that particular like what should I say
folder and then just
repository
do
folder.
npm install. Yeah,
Makes sense. Cool.
Solidity folder and then run yarn install. Okay, that's all.
Right. So in case like we have a big like whole project in which we have like a backend, the monolith repo, and some kind of cron job or something, it will just initialize the whole thing.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Got it. So in the meantime, right now the dependencies are being installed in the Solidity folder. So that is where we can start all the other stuff. So which particular
Yes.
token do we need from Open Zeppelin in this particular case, what we are using?
Yeah. So for our use case, we are going to be deploying a ERC721 token. So
Hmm.
it'll be something like your board ape yacht club.
Right.
We'll be deploying our own version of board ape yacht club, let's say. Okay, so for
Uh-huh.
that we'll be using a standard ERC721 template which is provided
Hmm.
by Open Zeppelin's contracts. Okay,
Right.
so as you guys can see, the documentation is pretty good, and we'll
Mhm.
just go through a couple of these lines and then we can start writing our contract. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. Cool.
So the point of ES721 is basically that each asset which you represent will be unique, and let's say whenever one is to be awarded to a player, it will be minted and sent to them. Okay, players are free to keep
Mhm.
their token and trade it with other people as they see fit. Okay,
Right.
so
Okay.
right now, yes. So as you guys can see, this is the simple contract which they have written on top
Like
of
a
the
boilerplate. Yeah.
ERC-71 contract. Yeah, on top of the boilerplate, exactly.
Right. So it's basically importing the 7 to 1 and I guess supporting contracts over there. And what else is it doing? The boilerplate project?
It is also defining the ERC-71 URI storage extension.
Mm-hmm.
So along with ERC-71 tokens, there's a new extension called as ERC-71 URI storage, usually storing big data like your images, etc., on the smart contracts is like considered pretty I mean, how do I say it? It's expensive. Okay, so
Right.
every byte you write to the smart contract costs you
Mm-hmm.
extra gas. Okay, so most people try to just define the specification of what the data format would be, and then
Mm-hmm.
they will put the actual data on a IPFS or some other
Mm-hmm.
server. Okay,
Right.
and they'll just put a link to that data onto the contract. Okay, so a simple example would
Mm-hmm.
be this one. Okay, so we just say that the token URI would look something like this,
Right.
and we put the actual data of the token URI on like
Mm-hmm.
this. Okay,
Right.
so
Similar
this
to a
is the
database.
exactly. Okay,
Right.
so this will be the key will be the URL will be provided by the contract, and the actual data will be present on a external server. It can be
Mm-hmm.
IPFS, it can be your own server, or however you choose to see it fit. Okay, yeah.
Got it. Perfect.
So now, as you guys can see, the dependencies are installed, and we can
Mhm.
actually start coding. Okay,
Right. We have
right.
so many dependencies over here. Awesome. Good.
Yeah. So at this point, I would like to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
Yash, what do you want to
Mm-hmm.
name our NFT?
I don't know. Like anything will work. I can see a candle over here in a wallpaper. Let's name it candle. That's fine.
Okay. So let's call it a candle NFT contract.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm just going to copy the boilerplate from here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going to edit it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm importing the ERC-71 contract. So
Right.
by the way, guys, everyone can actually go and read the contract which is installed in your node modules. So as you guys can
Mm-hmm.
see, this is the actual contract which is coming from the Open Zeppelin. Everyone can read it. It's open source, and this is what is actually going to be deployed uh, onto the blockchain which you are going to deploy it on. Okay, so it has a
Right.
bunch of functions. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
follows the ERC-71 interface. Okay, I'm just going to go to the interface first. So
Okay.
it has the standard ERC-71 interface. As you guys can see, it has some
Mm-hmm.
events which are emitted, functions like balance off, owner off, safe
Okay.
transfer from, approve, and
Right.
safe transfer from. Okay, so these are the typical functions which you see in every ERC-71 contract.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can be sure that this contract is actually implementing this interface. And since we are going to be using this contract, we can be sure that we are going to be following a full-on ERC-71 implementation. Okay,
Right.
so
I had one question over there, like Chai, when we actually deploy our contract into the blockchain,
mm,
the ERC-721 contract will also be deployed alongside. Like, will it cost me some gas fees over there?
yes, that is true. Okay, so since we are actually what we are trying to do here is
Mm-hmm.
we are just extending. Sorry, we are just using the contract which is here,
Mm-hmm.
extending it, and then writing our own contract. So when we are actually deploying it, it will be the
Mm-hmm.
summation of all of these contracts, all of these imports. Okay, so we'll be
Right.
paying gas for all of it. Okay,
Okay.
because the
Makes
actual
sense.
implementation is here. The actual implementation is here, right? To be honest,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Cool. So we have imported the two, and we have also imported counters.sol. What is counters.sol?
It's just a simple counter which is used to increment the token ID. So let's say if the
Mm-hmm.
first guy got token ID 1, the second guy should get token ID 2. Okay, so it's just
Okay.
a counter contract which maintains the current counter. Okay, so as you can see, you can still just have a look at it. Okay? It just has
Very
one
simple.
variable called value, and then
Right.
you can get the current value, increment it by 1, reduce it by
One.
1, etc. Okay.
Simple project. Okay, got it. Cool. So
Yeah.
that is all about the dependencies, contracts. Now we are going into the boilerplate that we have actually copied over. So what
Yeah.
are we going to change or see here today?
So we are going to rename the stuff here. Okay. So since our contract is
Mm-hmm.
called Candle NFT, I'm just going to call Candle NFT. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do we want to name our token? Some type of
Like
candle, good candles. I
wax
don't
candle or
know.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
options which you get here are the name and the symbol, the ticker symbol
Right.
for the candle. So
Right.
we'll just do cand. Okay.
Candy is
And
better.
cand.
Cool. Perfect. Cool. So we have we are going to okay do that. Okay. So the candle is the name and this will be the symbol. Candy will be the symbol, and now we are going to write the function.
Yes, correct. So at
Okay.
this point, please keep in mind that these NFTs are being given out for free. I'm actually not charging anything for these NFTs. Okay, so but let's
Mm-hmm.
say if you want these NFTs to be sold for a price, you can just
Mm-hmm.
have another function like function mint NFT, and
Mm-hmm.
then you would say address player. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then Uint256 token ID, and you can see GitHub autocomplete is able to autocomplete it for me.
Exactly. Autopilot does it all.
Okay.
So basically, here what you are doing is you are minting it particularly, right over here.
Yes. Okay. So, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
actually take money from
Make it
the
payable.
user.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I make it payable, then this
Mm-hmm.
function can accept actual ETH, and then
Mm-hmm.
I can only mint it. Only then I can mint it. Okay. But
Okay.
as you guys know, we can make sure that the user uh, cannot send like 0.01 and then mint his token. No. Okay. So we can just say that require message.value greater than some, let's say 0.01. Okay.
ETH. So is it like ETH or is it like what the value of
I
this
can't
is?
use 0.01 ETH technically, so it
Uh-huh.
should be in way. Okay, the value is always
Right.
in way. So
Right.
let's say uh,
So
how
what
do I
is
make
like
it so
one way versus ETH? Like it is like hundreds of
10
thousands,
per
right? Something
minus
like that.
10 per minus 18? Okay, so I have to type
Oh,
like 18 zeros.
oh no.
Okay, so okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, now it's
Okay.
0.01 ETH. Okay, so and let's say if you want to configure this
Mm-hmm.
number, okay, let's say I'm an owner, right? So I can just
Mm-hmm.
use ownable.solve.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think it's inside that.
So you
Contracts
need to
slash,
install that. Okay.
no need. It comes within the npm package, so
Mm-hmm.
I need to just find the ownable contract.
Right.
Where do I
Okay.
find it?
So that is one question I had. Like with Open Zeppelin, only the ones we import into our contract will be like we'll be giving out fees for that, right? Not the whole NPM
Correct.
package. Right. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's inside
So
Axis, I think. Yeah.
yes, so I can just import it like this. Okay, so ownable.solve. So at this point, I have this ownable contract. This basically just defines that if someone is an owner or not. The owner
Mm-hmm.
will be the person who deployed the contract, and it has some functions to transfer that ownership later on. Okay, it's a very
Okay. Got
simple
it.
contract. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can define another variable. Okay, so like
Mm-hmm.
uh, given 256. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
public. Okay, floor price. Okay, so
June
I can just
256
define a
won't be
floor
too
price.
long for us over here.
No, no. So all of the values are UNT56s. Okay,
Oh, because it's way. That's why it's like good enough.
correct. Yes.
Oh, okay. Makes
Okay.
sense.
So we'll define a floor price like this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just define two functions to actually be able to set the floor price, right? Okay.
Right.
Mm, oh my god.
It does it all.
So
Yeah.
it does it all. Maybe we'll be replaced soon. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I need to write a identifier called only owner.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it is available like this. Okay, it's a modifier called
Okay.
only owner. This makes sure that
Uh-huh.
only we can call the contract. So
Okay.
for that, I need to extend this contract and then add the ownable interface. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
saying
So
that
what
I'm
does
extending.
so ownable is like that? Okay, I got it. Like you are just extending that particular contract into it, and you're using that
Mhm.
only owner function over there. Got it.
Correct, correct. So using this concept, I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
only I, okay, the one who deployed the contract, can set the floor price currently. Okay.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
now, while minting NFT, I'm going to say that for this player, if he wants to purchase it,
Right.
uh, he needs to pay some value which is greater than floor price. Okay, and
Okay.
if he does not, then we throw. Okay, if
Insufficient
he
funds.
pays
Right.
anything, yeah.
Mhm.
If he pays anything more than the floor price, we'll just allow him to mint. Okay.
Definitely. Definitely. More money is
Hmm.
always good. The only question over here is like public versus external. You had used public in few places. Private, I get. Public, I get. What is external?
So usually, the solidity documentation kind of says that if you want to expose a contract to the end user, usually you should
Mm-hmm.
use external. Okay, external is a
Mm-hmm.
newer keyword. Actually, it was not present before 0.5.0, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
But it behaves similar to public, but it costs a bit lesser in terms of gas fees. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have that check, one extra check. Okay, I don't exactly remember it right now, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have one extra check. Okay.
So basically,
Yeah.
when we have to extend it for just external people to have a look at it, so then that's
Yes,
when we use
yes,
the external keyword. Okay, got
yes,
it.
yes, yes. Okay. So, um, but I would really, look at the see, as you guys can see,
Mm-hmm.
the difference is that uh, hmm,
Okay, so the
okay.
gas price is
So this
half
is
actually.
in terms of the implementation. Okay. So as I said, okay, reading from call data is cheap. So external functions can read directly from call data. So that is why using
Okay.
external is a bit cheaper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
External was not present in the very old versions of Solidity. It was present from,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 0.4 or 0.5, somewhere there. Okay.
Okay, got it.
So external ones cannot be accessed internally, whereas public ones, everyone
Uh-huh.
can access it. Okay.
Makes sense. So
So
basically,
let's say,
the only ones, like for example, we don't need the
yeah,
mint NFT or check the price internally anywhere. Internally, we'll never use it. So we just need it for external.
exactly. So ideally, you should not be able to
Mhm.
do this. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas public function you can call anywhere else. Okay. External ones you
Mm-hmm.
can't call them again. Okay. Only external people can call them. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Anyways, so I want to actually just edit this one. Okay. So that
Mm-hmm.
it has the capability of um, using the token IDs. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right. So I'm just going to put this one.
This award item is basically where people can claim the NFT.
Correct. Correct. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
you are just
deleting
copying
our
the mint
function.
NFT one. Okay.
Yes, and it's
Okay.
copied it over there. Okay. So as you can
Mm-hmm.
see, what we are doing here is award item. We are making
Mm-hmm.
sure that the user is sending more than the floor price, and then
Mm-hmm.
we are incrementing the token ID. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then minting the player the new token ID. Okay,
Got it.
yeah, and then we are just setting the token URI. Okay, at best, that's all. Okay, we are
Okay.
also
So
trying to basically make sure here that. Hmm.
token URI will point towards like some file we have stored in IPFS.
Yes, correct.
Okay, got it.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Mhm,
It can be your own server as well, but usually people prefer that it's in a decentralized storage, because let's say if your
mhm.
server goes down, then your NFT will also go down. So yeah,
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So at this point, I would say that this kind of contract is a bit
Mhm.
done. Okay, in my opinion.
That's it.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's it. Oh, you're thinking it
That's
will
it.
be much more
Okay.
complex, is it?
I guess ERC 721 is handling the complex part for us.
Exactly. It just makes it very simple for anyone to be able to write the contracts, because they have written the entire logic right here. Okay.
Makes
So as you can
sense.
see, okay. Everything.
Okay.
They have written most of the logic there. Okay. So, and the contract which we wrote is basically extending that big contract, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't try to do it too much. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So basically, what we are doing is we are just taking all the transactions and everything from the ERC-721. From our
Hmm.
side, we are just minting that NFT and just
Hmm.
rewarding it basically, or giving it away to the user who comes over and just claims it. That's the only thing our
Yep.
contract is doing.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And we are just adding
Okay.
a compiled script with Truffle. So are we going to
Yeah.
write tests now?
Okay. So before I start writing tests, I just want to run the compile command once. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it will just be yarn compile.
Right.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks like we are done.
Okay.
Okay. So this is our contract, which is compiled. Okay. So at this
Wow.
point, I can actually start
Mhm.
deploying it. Okay.
I can see a lot
Nice.
more contracts like string.json and everything over there. So are they like a part
Yeah.
of ERC-721 is requiring them?
Exactly. Okay. So since we
Uh-huh.
have a bunch of imports, all of these imports internally use some other contracts. So these are
Right.
the net summation of everything. Okay. All the
Okay.
contracts which you have here. Okay.
I can see a lot of gas price over here. Okay, cool.
Don't worry, man. We'll be deploying only to testnet. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Cool. So now we need to write tests, I guess, because the whole thing is compiled.
Yes, correct. Okay. So I'm also going to add a .solhint.json file here
Mm-hmm.
just to have some linter rules. Okay.
Okay.
The Solhint is one of the Solidity's linters. Okay.
Okay, we
So
have
just
added
adding
that
that
in dev
would,
dependencies, I guess.
yes, we do. We do have that in dev dependency. As you
Okay.
guys can see, Solhint. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah, it makes sure that your Solidity code is properly formatted and
Mm-hmm.
it does not have any general issues which can be caught by the linter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, got
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
Cool.
So
So, mhm.
at this point, I want to add a couple of scripts basically, which help us with the tests and all. Okay. So I'm just going to add a new folder called as
Mhm.
scripts, and then I'll add two scripts. Okay, here. Start blockchain. Okay, so this will be a
Okay.
local blockchain which will be starting. For the local blockchain, we are going to use something called as Ganache. Okay, Ganache is a very good
Mhm.
local blockchain, which is also
Mhm.
developed by the Truffle team.
Mhm.
So as you guys saw initially, when I went to Truffle Suit,
Mhm.
they had
They
three
have
products. Okay,
Ganache.
the first one was
Right.
Truffle. The second one was
Right.
Ganache. So Ganache is
Right.
a one-click blockchain. It helps us with very quickly developing a local blockchain for testing, so that you don't need to actually
Mhm.
connect to an Ethereum network. Okay,
Mhm.
and
Right.
yeah, mm,
So basically, we are creating a test net on a local host. That's it with a Ganache.
correct.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. And
So
you're just
and
creating scripts over there, not to open another terminal, basically.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so this will just basically start a blockchain, and this will stop that blockchain which was started before. Okay, as simple
Okay.
as that.
Perfect. Cool.
Yeah. So now at this point, I want to add some small scripts into the package JSON. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
These would be very simple, like just start blockchain client will invoke that script, stop blockchain
Mhm.
client will invoke the same script. So while
Right.
running dev, I want to do certain things. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing I want to do is to start a blockchain client, and I want to run the migrations. Okay. So truffle
Okay.
migrations are basically a set of commands which deploy your contracts onto the
Mhm.
blockchain which is running. Okay. You
Right.
specify the configuration for that in the truffle config. We'll go through those
Oh,
steps. Okay, definitely. But
perfect.
I just wanted to showcase the commands here first. Okay.
Mhm. Got it.
So, and I also want to write some pre-test, post-test commands. So when you
Mhm.
run a test script, right? Pre-test,
Mhm.
so npm or yarn basically makes sure that it runs the pre-test command, and then it also
Mhm.
runs the post-test command after the test is done. So what am I
Which is
trying to do?
basically our start and stop blockchain.
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
And
Okay.
it also runs the truffle migrations. Once the
Mhm.
migrations are done, which basically means that it deploys the contracts onto the local blockchain, and
Right.
after that it runs the tests. Okay, with the development network.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, pretty
Cool.
simple there. And then I'm just going to add a couple more scripts for linting. I love linting personally. You guys have must figured it out by now.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So in this way, we have added all the developer scripts, scripts over here in package.json. You have added like a lot of scripts, but we are not going to use all of them right now, I guess. Right?
Yeah, we are not going to use all of them. Okay, I just like to add them
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of completion. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone is writing like very huge contracts, it would help them. And since people will be referring to this repo later on, they
Mm-hmm.
can just copy paste these scripts, etc., from here and then use them in their own projects. Okay.
Cool. Got it. Perfect. So in this
Yeah.
way, our package.json is ready. We have already configured our like scripts for start and stop blockchain. What else is remaining?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna mark the files as the files which will be packaged
Right.
along with our build. Okay, so I want to package the contracts folder,
Mm-hmm.
and I also want to package the build folder. Okay, because we'll be trying to
Mm-hmm.
import this build folder into the front end, right? Yeah.
Right. So we are packaging that. Okay,
So
got it. Uh-huh.
yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing here. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can at this point we can start writing the migration scripts. Okay.
Okay. So what? So do you like migration script is already created for us, right? So what we do we
Yeah.
need
So
to
the
write
first
there?
default migration script is done for the
Mm-hmm.
migrations contract, but we also need to deploy our own Candle NFT contract, right?
Okay.
So what do I do for it? Okay, I just create another migration to underscore
Mm-hmm.
deploy underscore contract deploy underscore candle dot
Candle. Yeah.
js.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. And
So
this will actually like remove the case of us going through and copy pasting the ABI.
um, no, this will help us in terms of the local blockchain deployment. Okay, so as I was saying, right,
Okay.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
we run the migrate command. Okay, how does the migrate command know what to deploy? So it runs
Oh,
the
okay.
migrations in this folder one after the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got
Okay,
it. Got it.
so I'm just gonna require the artifact. Okay, this
Right.
artifact is basically nothing but it just requires the file inside this build folder. Okay, nothing much.
Okay.
Okay,
Nothing. Okay. Got
so
it.
artifacts dot require candle NFT and then it
Candle.
deploys the candle NFT contract.
Candles.
That's all.
As simple as that. Yeah. It's like writing a
Yeah,
reducer.
exactly. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so that's pretty much what it does. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
Perfect. Cool.
So now that yeah, please continue.
We have deployed it. We have our start stop blockchain. We have all the commands ready in our package JSON. What else?
Hmm.
I guess test. Now is the time to test.
Yes, so now it is the time to test.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just going to do candle nft.test.js. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to write tests in TypeScript, but then uh, for the sake of the time in this video, I'll just write it in JavaScript. Okay,
Right.
so candle NFT is artifacts.require
Mm-hmm.
and nft.solve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm bringing the contract here, which is the deployed one, and then
Okay.
I'm also gonna bring out myself, Chai.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Okay, and
Right.
you get this some you get the help of this, oh my God, this contract. Okay, you get the help of these globals which are provided by
Mm-hmm.
Truffle framework. Okay, so
Okay.
Truffle has this very nice integration with Mocha, because of
Uh-huh.
which you get this automatic global, which is contract. Contract is a global which is available to you right now. Okay,
Okay. Makes sense. Uh-huh.
yeah. So and I can just write function
Function.
accounts. Okay, and I
And
can
we'll be
start writing my
accessing.
tests in this.
So how the test will be structured? Like literally, I will be structuring the test as I've created an account, a user, and that account will be like going through access my NFT with some money, and if it's less,
Yeah,
it will
exactly.
reject it, right?
Correct. Exactly. Okay. So
Right.
I'll just create a global contract instance. Okay. Candle
Mm-hmm.
NFT. Okay. That will be
Okay.
my. I can also write just be verbose here. Okay.
Okay.
So and then before the entire test suite, I want to run
Mm-hmm.
one function which is to ensure that the contract is deployed. Okay. I need to sign
Yeah.
that. See.
Mm-hmm.
So before
Yeah.
the entire thing, it will basically just ensure that the candle NFT is deployed. Okay.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So usually who is deploying it, we can also configure it, but usually it's the accounts of zero. The first account is inside the list.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Next, I'll start writing my first test. It
Mhm.
should be able to set floor price. Okay. So
Okay.
right now I have
So,
not set the floor price, right?
uh-huh. And floor price can
So
only be set by the manager of the contract.
exactly, which is accounts of
Uh-huh.
zero, right?
Right.
Oh my god. Okay, that's the code which I'm
That's
supposed to do.
cool. Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Kitab. Cool.
And
So
I just
floor
want to define
price
who's calling
uh,
this. It will be accounts of zero. Okay.
of 0, and the floor
Hmm.
price is awaiting the floor price instance particularly, right? Get floor price from the NFT instant, that particular command, and then it's asserting that it's equal to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set floor price. I mean, we need to edit slightly. Okay. Obviously, can't just use this directly. Yeah.
Right.
Const something equal to require web3. Yeah, web3 is fine. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
What do we require from that? Okay, Web3. Then we'll have to create another instance for Web3 then.
Actually, let's just use Web3 utils. Okay. We just
Okay,
want
cool.
some functions from Web3. Okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
two-way. Okay. So
Oh,
I,
this is
I
the one I was talking
floor
about.
price
Right.
exactly. The floor price needs to be set in way. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my floor price is 0.01 ETH. Okay.
Okay, got it.
And then unit will be ether. Okay. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
converting 0.01 ether into way, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm setting that as
Okay.
a price from account
Okay.
of zero. Okay.
Okay.
So we
Got
also
it.
obviously want to read the floor price after that,
Mm-hmm.
which should be dot. Since it's a public variable, I can just read it directly. Dot floor
Right.
underscore price should be giving the floor price. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm just going to rewrite it as a const way amount.
Is equals to 0.01. Okay. Two-way. Yeah.
The default on the right side is either anyways, but I'm just going to
Mm-hmm.
explicitly specify it.
Right.
Okay, and I assert it to be equal to way amount. Okay, assert dot. Usually you can just use strict equal so that it'll compare the type as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Cool. So this was all about like you are able to set the floor price as the managers. Anything else we need to check?
At this point, I would like to test whether my tests are working.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do we run the tests? Okay, I can just run npm test.
NPM test. Yeah.
So as you guys can see, it first deploys our blockchain, runs the
Mm-hmm.
smart contracts. Okay. Uh, as you guys can
We
see now,
have an
it
error.
failed. Yeah, why did it fail?
Right.
Because we forgot to configure the truffle config. Okay, it's
Uh-huh.
the most important part of this entire thing. Okay, so the
Okay.
truffle the truffle
Right.
config is basically where we define what should be, how do we connect to the blockchain,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Right.
when you guys saw initially, you guys can see that this is a mnemonic I used. By the way, this is a very test mnemonic. Okay, we use it everywhere. It doesn't have any real money. Okay, it only has
Mm-hmm.
test ether. So please feel, yeah, it doesn't make sense even if you copy it. Okay.
There are thousands of them available in GitHub already.
Exactly. Okay. And I'm just going to use a Truffle HT wallet provider in order to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
this mnemonic can be loaded into the thing. As you guys can see, it's commented out already here. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
And
Got it.
and this is the development network which I want to uncomment.
What is the
And
HD wallet provider?
so HT wallet provider is a utility library which is provided by Truffle,
Uh-huh.
which takes in a mnemonic and says that this provider is going to use this mnemonic to sign the transactions. Okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Got it. So in the local
Yeah.
network, this particular mnemonic will be used as a wallet, and this provider will actually help us make the transactions.
Correct,
Got
correct.
it.
Okay. So
Uh-huh.
usually I also like to enable the optimizer. So
Mm-hmm.
optimizer helps us enabled. I want it to enable it to true, and
True.
then I
Yeah.
usually like to have the runs of 600. Okay, approximately that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this helps
Got
us
it.
slightly with the Solidity code optimization. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss the bracket?
Right.
No, right? Yeah, I missed a bracket.
Yeah. One.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So at this point, we have the development network set up. Please remember that while deploying to Robston, actually, we need to
Mhm.
uncomment this part. Okay, we'll do that later.
Okay, so this one
So
is specifically for Robston. Okay.
no, yeah, this is for development so far. What we did. Okay.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's start the test again. It'll compile everything again, and then it'll run the migrations. As you can see, the migrations, it actually deployed our contracts into the local blockchain, and you
Uh-huh.
can see the total cost so far to deploy both the contracts is this much.
ETH.
Okay,
Right.
0.005 ETH.
Mhm.
So yeah, okay, they are failing because the output of this floor price is actually a BN string. Okay, a big number.
Oh.
Okay, so we need to convert that big number to hex. Okay, so usually if you
Uh-huh.
write in TypeScript, you won't make these mistakes. Okay.
Right. Awesome. So we are going to test now. We have set the floor price, and now we are actually going to award the NFT to a person, right?
Yes, correct. Okay. So await candle NFT instance dot award item. So who do I award it
Mm-hmm.
to? The player. Okay, so I want it award to address of one.
Address. Right.
Sorry,
Exactly.
accounts of one. Sorry,
Yeah.
accounts of one, and then I want to give him a token URI as well. Okay, so
Right.
I can just for now I'll just keep it as HTTPS images dot
Example.com at oh wow, nice. It was literally writing everything. Okay, cool.
dash one. Okay, I'll just keep it like that for now, and
Right.
then I'm gonna
Give it from
from
accounts
will
of
be
zero.
accounts of one. No, from account of
Accounts of
one
zero.
because
Okay.
from will be accounts of one because I want this guy itself uh, to pay for his award. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, usually you can send it to someone else as well. You can mint for other people as well. But right now, I'm just
Uh-huh.
gonna award it for myself. Okay,
Okay, makes sense.
and I'm gonna send value as 0.01
Mm-hmm.
ether. Okay,
Okay,
right?
perfect. Mm-hmm.
Oh my, should we get an equal to?
Right. Or we can
Right.
just make it 0.011. Okay, cool. Okay. So we have awarded the item next. We have to
Next,
check.
we basically check what is his balance for that NFT, right?
Right.
So const balance equal to candle NFT instance dot. We can just go to the contract and then
Mm-hmm.
use the function called
Check balance or something.
yeah, balance is off.
Balance
Balance
is off.
off.
Yeah, balance off. Cool. So balance of this particular accounts at
Accounts.
one.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, let's run both the tests once.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to see if we are able to actually mint it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So now it should be okay. So that balance should be 0.01.
Oh, I need to. I just needed to await it.
Wait. Got it.
Yeah. So when you're writing in TypeScript, usually these don't occur at all. Okay, because it clearly tells you right there itself that
Got it.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So as you guys can see, we are able to award an NFT to this guy. Okay, and the
Mm-hmm.
balance is actually one. Okay,
Right. Perfect.
awesome. So
Cool.
this part then concludes the Solidity part.
Solidity part. Right. So
Yeah.
basically, in this Solidity contract, what we did was we just used the pre-existing ERC-721 contracts, minted our own NFT, and awarded that NFT to the user. And that's what we have checked in the test files as well.
Yeah.
So now we need to integrate it the front end, right, Chai? And I guess
Yeah.
first we need to deploy the contract before that.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So for that, let's define what are the NFTs which we're going to deploy, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, we
I'm just going to
forgot
create a
that.
new folder called assets, and
Uh-huh.
I also want to just export it out of this package again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in this assets folder, I want to just define two assets. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, candle one, candle two. So candle
Okay.
one dot JSON. Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
can define some of the attributes for it like this. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Right.
uh, lavender scented candle. Okay, and then we can just say, it's a
Definitely.
very nice smelling candle. I mean, you can come
Right.
up with better stuff here. Okay,
See over here.
I do not care. Nice.
Perfect. Perfect.
Save images. Candle two. Okay, that's good
Candle
enough,
two.
I
Okay,
think.
we got two candles over here. Cool. So two
Yeah.
images, candle one and candle two, we are going to add in the assets folder.
No, we need to just upload that to some content post.
IPFS first.
Okay.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay.
So in Fura.
Uploading to IPFS is not very straightforward. Okay, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just upload it to Imager for today.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, can I just upload directly without signing in? New post. Oh yes, I can.
We trust in good.
Grab link. Copy link.
Got it. Perfect.
Very quickly. Okay. Since we are not going to be actually selling these NFTs, I think it's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are actually going to sell the NFTs, please be sure that you own the artwork actually. So
Exactly.
awesome. Grabbing copy link.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
So this has strength 30. Okay. What do you mean? Come on.
What is the strength variable for?
It's just a random variable. You can define any metadata. So this
Mm-hmm.
metadata will be used to display some attributes, okay, on your
Mm-hmm.
NFT. Let's say it can be like, Bored Ape Active, let's say. You can have a
Mm-hmm.
mustache, okay, you can define any kind of having mustache, yes or no, having a hat, yes or no, okay, stuff like that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is the power of the thing, okay, etc.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
I don't care. This candle doesn't care. Okay,
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
simple candles. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we
Okay.
need to upload
Mm-hmm.
this. We need to upload these candles to some public location. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
something very crazy.
Okay.
We're gonna use CDN to do this. Okay. I'm just
Okay.
gonna define assets outside here.
Okay.
Cut
But
this
what
to move it
would we
here.
generally do in these cases, like when we have to upload it
Usually, you
based
should
on?
upload all of these to IPFS.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Right.
Okay. Assets, and then I just do npm init -y.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then at the rate. Sorry. NFT dash assets dash 123. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just do npm publish.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice.
Okay. So
Just
now
spamming
it's
npm.
published. Oh, please don't do this, everyone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, we have it here. Okay. So
Okay, we have it.
unpackage is up. So I'm just going to use these two URLs here,
Mm-hmm.
candle1.json and then candle2.json. Okay.
Okay. So we already have it in unpackage. Perfect.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So, right, I don't need to have that there.
We could have
Okay.
deployed it on GitHub. That would be easier.
Damn it! I just uploaded to GitHub.
We just uploaded to.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's nice.
Oh man. Okay, no problem. So for the front end, we would like to actually write our front end in React. So
Mhm.
for that, very quick boilerplate would be to use create React app. Okay. So I'm just gonna do c dot dot
You do
rm slash f front end so that I can do npx create React
NPM.
app
Okay. Mhm.
front end. So this
So
takes a bit of time.
in
Okay,
the meantime, we
but
can deploy.
in the meantime, yeah, we can definitely deploy our smart contracts.
Exactly.
So to deploy smart contracts, we want to define where do we want to deploy it to. I recommend Ropsten for now.
Right.
Okay.
And we have to
So we
remove.
can use
Okay, we have that development.
we can use the same mnemonic as defined here.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to be able to use that, we need a blockchain URL.
Mm-hmm.
So Cloudflare Robston.
Oh, Cloudflare has it. I thought like I'll just go in Ensure and create a new instance.
We can either do that or we can use the Cloudflare one. I think they only provide Ethereum mainnet, if I'm not wrong. I need to check. Yeah, I think it's just Ethereum mainnet. Okay.
Mainnet.
So
So
we anyways have to create
go to
Infura
Ensure. Yeah.
account.
Okay.
Okay, I got a very quick project ID. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a very temporary ID, guys. Okay, it will be deleted right after this demo is done. So please
Right.
do whatever you want with it. Okay, nothing
Mm-hmm.
will happen. So yeah.
Right. Perfect. So we
Um.
have just added our Ensure ID over here, and we are
hmm,
going to deploy it on Robston.
Correct. So
Oh.
for to do that, we can just do it using the truffle migrate command. Okay. So
Okay.
the way I'm going to do it is cd solidity yarn migrate dash dash
Mm-hmm.
uh, network
Mm-hmm.
Robston. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
This would basically make sure it passed the command to the migration to Robston.
Truffle. Right.
No, it did not actually take it. It's trying to connect the local host Ganache because
We have that as development over there.
yeah, we can comment
Should
out
we?
for now,
Right.
and then let's try it again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So
It gives us the gas fees, whatever it is again, and it's now deploying it for us.
yes, so it'll initially deploy the
Insufficient funds. Okay, you need another account for this.
okay, that's surprising. So guys, as everyone can see, I'm trying to deploy the contractor interview because Robson is so
Mm-hmm.
expensive. Yeah. So let's see
I
here.
guess it's
Okay.
like clogged up with everyone right now deploying some testnet. Everyone is going into development right now. Let's see the Drinkbee
Mhm.
testnet how it works right now.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have enough money on the Robster network to actually deploy the contracts at the speeds they're requesting.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Has been included already. Hey. Hey.
Okay, perfect. We have the hash.
We
Okay.
have the hash and it's deployed. Okay, now we are going to deploy our NFT as well.
Uh-huh.
It's going to
Okay,
take a
so
couple of seconds.
it will deploy both of the blocks one by one.
Yeah, one after. No, it is just waiting for two blocks to finish. Okay. It's
Okay.
just waiting for two confirmations. Okay, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
The migration
Right.
will be saved to the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll deploy the second contract anytime soon, anytime
Right.
now. Hmm. Okay, there you go. It's starting to deploy Candle now.
Okay.
It takes a couple of seconds, and yeah, there you go.
Perfect. So
We
we
got
have
a
deployed
transaction.
we have got transaction hash, and we can check at Etherscan what's happening on the transaction hash. And yes, that's our contract, right?
We just wait for it to be confirmed. You can see this is all our smart contract code, bytecode for it.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the transaction parameters which are sent along with our contract.
Right.
It's a type 2 with nonce 2, and then this is the gas fees.
Perfect.
So,
Awesome. So now
mhm.
next thing is like the front end now, right?
Mm.
NFT details, we'll just write down our API and everything here.
No need. We can just write the contact address here. Okay.
Okay.
So there you go.
So that's it.
Okay.
Like
So
we just
there,
need the contract address, and what about like how will we fetch this in the front end then?
we will come to there. Okay. We'll
Okay,
come there.
cool, cool. So let's
So
come to that. We already have
yeah.
our front end like already deployed there using the boilerplate of React, right? React app.
Correct. Okay,
Perfect.
so at
Let's
this
do
point,
this.
let's just start the server and then we can see how it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
This is how our app looks like. Okay,
Right.
it's a pretty simple app, and
Mm-hmm.
we are gonna basically edit it to send our NFTs, I guess. Okay,
Right.
cool. Yeah. There you
So
go.
just delete. Still keeping the header.
And then yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
The beauty is, as long as you keep writing, it will just update instantly. Okay. So,
Exactly.
Dev, NFT. Okay, so let us import our asset projects into this particular file. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll just say assets, and then do they have a version here? Okay, 1 point NFT assets 123. Okay, I just
Right.
add it to Lerna so that it will also start tracking this project.
Okay. So in that sense, it will deploy and like bootstrap this project
Link,
also.
exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do pd dot dot and then yarn bootstrap,
Right.
it's gonna link the NFT assets here. Okay.
Okay.
This is going to take a couple of seconds
Mm-hmm.
for it to do that.
So what are the dependencies are you going to add in this app?
We already have the dependency list from the default package which we got, the
Right.
Create React App template. So we are not going to be
Uh-huh.
adding many more dependencies.
Right.
I just added the NFT assets. I'm also going to
Mm-hmm.
add the Solidity as a package as well.
Right.
Yeah. So 1.0.0 Solidity
Okay.
as well, and I'm going to do Bootstrap again. Okay, there you go. That's also done.
Why are we adding
And
Solidity in the React app?
because we want to get the build from it. Okay, the
Right.
ABI from the contracts. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Got it.
so as you can see, if you go to Solidity, as you can see, it's sim linked to our build. As you can see that, okay, it's sim linked here. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
that's the
Got it.
advantage you get with Lerna. Okay, so whenever you change your Solidity code, you don't need to rerun it in order to develop and everything. Okay, you just immediately get the link. Okay,
That's nice. That's nice.
yeah, that
Otherwise,
is
I
why
was
we
thinking like
prefer
literally
to
I have to replace that over there. Yeah.
exactly. And similarly, you can see NFT assets 1 to 3 as well. It's here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's also
Perfect.
we also have that now.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we have to import.
NFT assets 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
What do we import? Assets
Candle
from.
1, Candle 2.
Okay,
Okay, assets. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so console. No, we can't
Console.
do
No.
that actually. NFT assets 1 to 3 / candle1.json. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
candle 1,
Candle
and
1
then
from.
similarly I'll do it for
Similarly, Candle 2.
candle 2.
Right.
And I'll also do the third part as well. What is the third one?
Third, there's just 2 we have deployed, right?
Oh, right, only 2 candles then.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, no, I have the NFT details as well. So
So NFT details has to be imported.
that's right. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
just gonna do the bootstrap again.
So you're renaming this to assets.
Yeah, because the name here is assets, right? Okay, so
Oh,
NFT
okay.
assets is the one which is deployed onto
Yeah.
right
CDN. Yeah.
CDN, correct. Also, oh wait, I haven't changed the
You
name here. Oh damn,
you need right. Got it.
I needed to rename there as well. Okay, cool. Now cd dot dot yarn bootstrap. There you go.
They have
Now
added
if I look at my
assets.
node modules,
Here's
assets,
added.
there you go.
Perfect.
Okay,
Cool.
got
Yep.
my candles there. So now I can just do that. And if I want the third item as well, so
Third item will be our NFT details. What
NFT
was it?
details.
Right.
So NFT details
Okay.
basically contains just the contract address. Okay, we
Okay.
need the contract address, right?
Right. Got it.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's just create a const all candles equal to
Mm-hmm.
candle 1, candle 2. Okay,
Yep.
and let's just create a small list to render it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all candles dot map x such that x dot description name image and string, right? So
Right.
let's just do a div for each of them, and
Mm-hmm.
then image source is x dot image,
Right.
and let's do a simple paragraph for the
Mm-hmm.
description.
Right.
I don't need the brackets, but I just like to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Next, what else do we have in terms of the candles to display? Name, description, image.
Image. Yeah.
Uh,
Just name is
I'll just
remaining.
put H1 of
Mm-hmm.
H1 maybe too bold, so H2
Exactly.
X dot
H2 X
name.
dot name. Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect.
So CD front end NS. Let me start.
You have not added npm start. Yep.
What happened to my scripts? They were just there. Start React scripts.
But
That's all.
React actually does initiate those React scripts and everything as well over here, right?
Yeah, it does. We were using it as well. I think Lerna when we were doing some bootstrapping, I think it got lost. Okay, because of some
Okay.
reason. It should be fine, or maybe I deleted it by mistake. So
Yeah, maybe. Cool.
problem.
So now,
So there you go. My
exactly.
lavender scented candle and I don't care candle. Yay!
Right. Perfect. Now we need to have like a login and a claim NFT buttons, right?
That is true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So before we do the login part, we just have a buy button, which will do nothing. Okay. Button, and then I'll define an on-click event
Mm-hmm.
equal to. Okay. Let's just define a function called buy. Okay.
Okay.
Does nothing for now. Okay. Console.log maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Buying NFT,
Okay.
NFT underscore ID. Okay.
Cool. Right now it's showing nothing, but later on when we'll have the wallet integration, we'll actually click on this and it will be transferred to our like wallet.
Yes, correct. Okay, so I'm also just going to add token underscore ID for this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to call this one I don't care as one.
This will be 2.
So
This is candle 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and then I'll call it candle 1 as one.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
So for now we'll just call that buy underscore token underscore ID. So,
Perfect. Yeah.
cool. There we go. Buy.
Cool.
Okay,
Awesome.
great.
So we have
Let's
2
click on buy.
buttons. Right.
I need to write it like an arrow function, otherwise it'll keep buying. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, I have my amazing website ready here. Okay. So we can just start buying. We can just start integrating our wallet. Okay. So authentication.
Right.
So we want your users to actually buy this wallet. Okay. So how do they buy this wallet? They will have to have a wallet. Okay. Of course. Okay. So one of the authentication services which is Web3 Auth. So today we'll just go ahead and integrate Web3 Auth here. Okay.
Perfect.
So for that, we just need to add a dependency.
3auth /3auth. Perfect.
And I think these guys just released a new version there. cd.yarn bootstrap again, just so that it will install the dependency of Web3 auth. See, deleted the scripts.
Okay. Yeah.
It's usually supposed to put them back, okay? No, it always doesn't happen, guys, okay? So I think I edited it while it was, doing its thing. See, it usually doesn't delete it, okay? So I
Exactly.
was just saving it while it was doing the bootstrap. That's why it just overrode my changes, okay? Yeah. No problem. In the meantime, we can just do import.
Web3 auth.
Instead, we can actually go to blocks.web3.io,
Mhm.
and then we can actually start our integration. So since we are a Web3 dApp, I just click on that, and then let's see. I just click on get started with Web3 auth.
Mhm.
Okay, this is a plain JavaScript integration. I usually don't like plain JavaScript integrations. So
Okay.
what do I do? I can
Go to the
simply go to
React one. All
yeah, I
right. We
can
can just
simply go
go
to
and check.
GitHub, right? Okay.
Check the
So,
examples.
okay. And I just click on examples. Oh yeah, there's a React app here, so I can just use that. Um,
I like the thing that we are talking about us in third person, although.
that
Right.
should be fine.
Cool.
Right.
So we inside of this inside of source. Okay. So
Okay,
here's
there you
where
go.
they're configuring, right? Here's where you're
Yes,
configuring.
correct.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let me just copy some of this code, and then we can just
Mm-hmm.
start our, auth integration. Okay.
Right. So we are copying const web3 auth inside web3. Okay, basically we are just adding it to state. Cool.
Right, and then I should be
And
able to
you're
import.
initializing it, not initializing it. Okay, got it.
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
Import use state from React.
Use straight from React. Okay, got. Cool.
Okay, there you go. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just gonna copy paste some more code because it's so
Right.
easy to do that. Um,
Nobody likes to write code. Everybody wants to copy it.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so before I do that, I want to actually write one more button here. Okay,
That will be login
which
button, right?
calls. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Connect your wallet.
on click equal to connect. Okay, so what do we do
Just
on?
again, like we should do it in an arrow function, I guess.
Yep, const connect equal to
Oh, you right. Make it an arrow function over here. That's fine.
right. I can just look at the code which they have in the use effect and then copy that, right? Okay, so as you can see in the use
Mm-hmm.
effect, they have an init function, okay,
Mm-hmm.
which basically just
What
defines the
does
client ID.
use effect do?
Use effect is basically called on mounted, or when your
Mm-hmm.
component mounts itself for the first time, or when a component updates itself again. Okay, so
Right.
let's say if a chain changes here, Web3 auth network changes,
Mm-hmm.
or this function reference changes, it executes
Mm-hmm.
this function again, basically. Okay,
Basically, a replacement for component did mount. Like if I talk about the component
component
stuff.
did mount, component did update, everything. Okay.
Okay. So we are actually using it in use effect. Why are we using it in use effect? Like somebody clicks on it, then it should initialize, right?
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We are not going to use it in use effect. Okay.
Okay. So when
Yeah.
somebody clicks,
So,
that is when the client ID this is taken.
so let me just import the web auth from here. Import web auth from here, and then chain config. I need to define a chain config. So where do I get a chain
Okay.
config from? Right now, you guys, I mean, we all know that we are connecting to which one? We are connecting to Linkerd, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm just going to define a config.js. I'm just going to export default this.
So this is the config we need for connecting our wallet.
Yeah.
Okay. So just need to change the Ethereum mainnet to ring B
Yeah.
down there, like in the Infura one, right?
Yeah.
So what is this EIP 155?
It's a EIP 155 is a EIP which defines the chain specification called chain ID. Okay, so as you guys
Mm-hmm.
can see, 155. It's basically an improvement proposal which defines this concept called as chain ID. Okay, in Ethereum, so that each
Mm-hmm.
different chain, let's say if it's
Mm-hmm.
testnet or mainnet, if they're independent, they should basically use a different chain ID. Okay,
Okay, makes
so as you can
sense.
see, the chain IDs for different networks are different. Linkb has
Mm-hmm.
4.
4.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
got
so
it.
I'll just use 0x4. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
right, there you go. And block explorer would be linkb.etherscan.
B.Etherscan. Right. Perfect.
That's it. Okay,
That's all the config we need.
yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'll just use the config from network.
Uh-huh.
So I get my chain config from network, and
Right.
ideally I should get a new client ID from the dashboard here.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I'm just going to use the same client ID here, or maybe I should
Uh-huh.
actually, I should actually
Yeah.
get my own client ID to be honest. So let me just do that.
Mm-hmm. So just logging using Google over here. Cool.
Yeah, I just logged in using Google. This will actually showcase my existing projects here. As
Uh-huh.
you can see, I have some existing projects which have some monthly active users. I just create a new project. What is this
Candle
project called?
NFT.
Candle NFT. Boom, boom. I click on create, and there you go. I get a client
Right.
ID. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. So
I'll just
okay,
replace
the candle.
that,
Awesome.
and
Okay.
maybe ideally I should move this to my config file.
Config as well. Exactly. Export.
Export const client ID, and then I'll just import it here. Okay.
Yeah. And import network and client ID from config. So in this connect function, what we are doing is we are creating a new instance of Web3 auth and adding our config as well as client ID into it.
Correct. Okay.
Perfect.
So and once we get those details in, we can start the next part of the integration. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once we have the Web3 auth instance ready,
Right.
we can just call Web3 auth instance dot init modal. I need to mark this function as async. So at this point, this will
Uh-huh.
basically show the modal. Okay.
So
So that the
that
user
like
can
log in using something.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So it allows us to log in with all of the social logins. Okay.
Right.
So I think
So this is the
this
plug and
would
play one. Like
actually. Mhm.
okay. So like
I think what we're doing will.
Mhm.
Please continue. I think what we're doing will fail because we don't have the polyfills for certain of these Webpack 5 packages. So
Oh
we'll
right.
need to copy those as well. Okay. A good place to copy those would be chain slaves. So Web3.js. Okay. So Web3.js documentation
Uh-huh.
has the stuff for this. Okay. So if you have a Create React app, see, this is what they
Uh-huh.
suggest. Okay. If you have a Create React app, you should do the following things. Okay. You should install all of these, right?
Interesting. What I was doing in my app, I was just rolling down this to Webpack 4 because that was easy to do instead of installing all of these
No.
things.
Yeah. So I think ideally I should just add these manually. No, yeah, manually.
Right.
You know what? Actually, let's do this, and then we'll do the bootstrap again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So these
There
are
you go.
all the
And
things.
then
So what did we need over here? What are the file? What are the extra dependencies were there?
these, okay, assert, buffer, crypto, browserify, all of these basically. These
Oh,
came in
okay,
with
got it.
installation. Okay, so now that we
Mhm.
have those things, we also need to edit the script here to change it. Sorry, we also need to create a config overrides file with the following content. Okay, so in Create React app, they just
Mhm.
made life harder for every Web3 developer, to be honest.
That's why I just rolled back to Web 4. No, sorry, that Webpack 4. Webpack 5 is not
Right.
good.
I mean, yeah. So we were supposed to change from the old one to this new one.
Uh-huh.
There you go, React app rewired. Okay. Now
Cool.
I'll start CD frontend. Now I'll start the server.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a bit more time than previous.
Why is that? Like it's rebuilding itself, that's why?
Yeah, exactly. And also it has more packages. Okay, so it just took like a couple of seconds. 1 second more, I would say, that's all.
Cool. Since using Connect.
And actually the web path is now currently initialized at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now at that point, what we need to do is we need to call connect. Okay.
So you were saying like the model will appear because you were just initializing that model, right?
Yeah. So usually, most people should call all of this code inside their use effect function. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So async function init, you define an async function init, and then you create your web auth instance, and then
Mm-hmm.
you set web auth to the web auth instance, right?
Okay.
Okay, so that this function will run on component mounts. Okay, when the user clicks on login, that's when you actually call
the model.
if not web3 auth return, and we also can do web3 auth dot connect at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
And if it is not initialized, it'll just return. We should have some kind of a error message generated, like an alert or something, right?
Yeah, alert. Web3 is not. So in a production app, you would handle this in a safe way, but for now, we're just gonna go with an alert. Okay.
Right.
So I'll also call set provider, and then there you go. I'd say.
Okay.
That
So what's the
basically.
provider over here? When we had those local testnet, then we knew the provider, which was given by Ginash. What is the provider over here?
This provider is a EIP 1193 compatible provider, which the Web3 package returns us. Okay, we can use this provider to actually do all of our to make all blockchain transactions, and we can inject this provider into Web3 or Ethers or any other library.
Right, any library. Right, perfect. And using that provider, we'll access the wallet.
Yes, correct, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a valid dependency, but it never changes. Okay, let me just clean that up, and there you go. Now, if I reload, yeah, there you go. That's working now. We have the init function set up, so the web auth is being initialized on mount, and then you can, when the user clicks the button of connect, it will actually connect to a provider. Okay, you can quickly test that out by clicking on connect. Oh, there you go. We have the model. Yeah, so we get all of these logins for free, and let's try connecting to a login. I have DevTools enabled, so I'll just close that. Since I already have an account, I think it's just asking me to log in with my Touch ID. So there you go. Okay, boom. So we are now connected to our account. So we currently have a blockchain account ready for us. Okay.
Exactly. So the blockchain account is ready. We just need to now make the transaction.
Yeah, true. So before making the transaction, I would usually like to show the user his address. Okay. And I also want to have my Web3 ready. Okay. So let me just install Web3 as a dependency here. There you go. And I'll just do Bootstrap again. So I can simply write import Web3 from Web3, and then const Web3 equal to Web3.
Right.
Okay. No, we don't need to do this actually. We'll
We
put
need to hook
Web3 on
it
stake,
up.
right?
Oh, okay.
const
Web3 will be in
set.
state because we need to access that into the connect as well as like transfer.
Exactly. Okay, we'll be using
Right.
it at multiple places. Okay.
Mhm. Right.
So at this point, what I can do is simply const web3 equal to new web3 of provider. The
Mhm.
GitHub knows what to do there, and then we do set
Set
web3
Web3
of
as
provider.
Web3. Perfect.
Okay.
Cool.
So now, usually when I get my web3 setup done, I also usually like
Mhm.
to get my accounts. Okay, const
Right.
accounts equal to await web3.get accounts.
Right.
Okay, and then console.log accounts, I'll log it. And I also want to show the account. Okay,
use use the account as well. So you just add it to the state and just
yeah,
display the front end.
correct. Okay,
Right.
so set account of accounts of 0. Okay, we'll just take the first one. Okay, we'll get one. So yeah.
Perfect.
Now, if let's say we have an account,
Mm-hmm.
then we
Don't display
we
the
show the
login. Right.
account. Otherwise, we show the login button. Right.
Exactly.
Okay, so usually like to do this, but yeah, you show the
Yeah.
account address. Otherwise, you show that. Okay.
Okay. So if you
Now
refresh
cd
it,
frontend ns.
oh,
I stopped the server, so I had to restart it away.
makes sense.
As you can see, it's very lightweight, so it's just restarts very fast. Okay.
Exactly.
I click on connect. Oh, boom! I'm already logged in because I was just logged in right a minute ago. Okay, since I'm in
Right.
the
And
same tab.
also, mhm.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and
it
this is
was not
my
initialized because the use state was initially like empty. Right.
yeah, no. Usually, when you click on connect, that's when we wrote it to do this. Okay, but
Exactly.
Web3 also has a concept of auto connect. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
where when the page loads, if the user already has an active connection, it will just auto connect. Okay, we can also
Okay.
do
Got
that.
it.
Okay, but for this example, we will not do that. Okay, we'll just go ahead with the rest of the code. So we
Right.
already have an account.
So
I would also usually like to log the balance. Okay, await web3.get balance of
mhm,
account of 0. Okay, balance,
okay.
and then I also like to show set balance of
Mm-hmm.
balance.
Mm-hmm.
Before showing that, I need to do web3.utils dot from way
From okay.
balance, and then where do you want to convert it to? I want to convert it to ether. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So
Set balance is not
set
imported.
balance, yeah, const.
Okay. Set balance should be in use state. Got it.
Yeah. So now, if I have an account, I'll display the account, right? So I'll just clean this up a bit. Div
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, address would be account.
Account
Okay,
and
and then
balance.
balance would be balance. Okay.
Perfect.
So maybe I'll just make these as another divs. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
just a bit cleaner.
Perfect.
It's neater, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll click on
And
connect. Oh,
connect
there you go. I have some
and
balance.
balance. Perfect.
Ooh, I'm rich. So yeah.
0.05 ether. It's like 10,000 rupees over here.
Oh, damn. Okay,
Nice.
good, good. Some money, better than nothing. Yeah. Okay, so at this point, we would like to actually buy, okay, the
Mm-hmm.
NFT, okay, on click of
Mm-hmm.
connect, right? So
Right.
how do we do that? So if you
So we
remember our,
need. Mm-hmm.
mm, so if you
Yeah,
remember
please.
our Solidity code,
Mm-hmm.
we have Solidity slash build slash contract slash candle NFT.json, okay?
Right. And that is
This
like
will be candle NFT, okay? This will be our uh, Solidity compiled code, okay? And
mm-hmm.
then we would only need the we need to create a contract instance of it, right?
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
new web3.eth.cantor. Oh my god, it knows everything.
So it will just go over and check. It will grab its ABI through this
Yeah, so
directly.
we are importing this here. So
Mm-hmm.
candlenft.abi is the actual ABI, as you can see here.
Mm-hmm.
And we also need the address of the contract. Okay, so address
Right.
is present on state, NFT details dot
NFT
contract
details,
address.
content address. Exactly. Perfect.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Now we have the contract
The
address.
con-
So what do we do?
now we'll use the contract method as obviously GitHub is recommending us.
Yeah, contract dot methods dot. If you remember, we wrote some tests a while ago, right?
Right. The same thing we need to do.
Uh,
Like we just need to test. We need to just abort item. Yeah.
exactly. Methods dot award item. Who do you want to award it to? I want to do it to myself. So I'll just use account here. And
Mm-hmm.
then for this metadata,
Mm-hmm.
we got the actual metadata, right? So how
Right.
did we get the metadata from? We have it
Mm-hmm.
on this candle NFT, right? Hmm?
Right.
So we'll get
The image is here. You have hosted it, but
yeah, let me just add a hosted underscore URL here.
mhm.
Okay, what is that? Hosted URL. You
That
unpack it.
where the okay, yeah, candle1.json and candle2.json. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Okay, so we'll just use this as our
Change it to candle1.
right. We'll just use this as our token URI. Okay,
Right. Perfect.
great. So there you go. From would be myself again, and then value
Mm-hmm.
would be web3.utils.two-way. I'm going to send only
Right.
0.01 ether because I know that's the lowest I can get away with.
Right.
So const current candle will be which one? All candles dot find candle dot
Mhm.
NFT ID is this NFT ID. Okay, we want to find this current one.
Right.
Uh,
What if we want to transfer it to somebody else? For how will we do it over here?
I'll show you that. Okay, one second. I think I use
Okay.
token ID here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so on click of x dot token ID, right? So that will
Right.
be candle dot token ID. Okay, equal to NFT
Right.
ID. So we'll get a current candle, and then I can just simply do current candle dot posted URL. Okay, that will be my assets metadata URI. Okay, metadata URI.
Right.
Okay, so now at
Exactly.
this point, I'll be able to actually claim it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and after this, I'll just add an alert successfully claimed.
Claim. Right.
Okay, so we can try it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this will actually make a transaction to the blockchain, guys. Okay, so click on confirm, and
Awesome.
then maybe put some more logs on.
Yeah,
Alert
that would be good.
buying candle, comma current candle. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me just do that. Okay, just so that let's see that I'm buying the correct candle. Okay,
Okay, buying candle, not telling us.
buying NFT one. The ID is one. Okay, candle or token ID, current candle. Oh, okay. Alert only takes one input. Okay, my bad. You can't have multiple messages. It's only one
Right,
message.
right, right. You can just console that, console log that.
All right, I can just do plus. Okay.
Oh
It's
yeah,
JavaScript. You can add anything.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, great.
You need to refresh it, I guess.
Okay, I need to JSON.stringify
So,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, I can just try it now.
Mm-hmm.
I can click on connect, and
Right.
I'll click on buy. So it's trying to buy our lavender center candle, which is what I selected. So I
Exactly.
click on that. Okay, it says invalid parameters for award item, got 3, expected 2. So with Web3, right, you can't send a transaction like the way we were sending it for Truffle. The syntax is slightly different. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what I need to do is dot send. Okay, so I need to
Right.
do this. Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So now I'm going to change that, and then I'll click on connect,
Connect.
and then I click on buy.
Bye.
Okay,
And now the transaction. Okay, there's an error.
it's underpriced. Okay, I think.
Cool. So we figured out the problem, and it was just some issue with the Web3 library that we needed to add a different syntax for that. Can you show me the syntax, Chai, like the different syntax what you added over there? That gas
The
fees.
logout function. Yeah, I get the gas fees. Okay, so I added a max priority fee. Yeah.
Right. Instead of setting up gas exactly, we had to set up the max priority fee. And if we go
Yeah.
to the transaction, if we go to the website right now, if you can switch over to the browser, just go over there. This is the transaction
Oh,
details, and this is how it's done. Like literally, the transaction details is here, and it's done.
I
As
got
simple
the
as that.
candle candy.
You got your candle candy as well. Perfect. Cool. So in this video, like, can we just summarize the whole thing? Can we what we have done? Like, Chai, if you open up your like browser, if you can see the whole thing. So we have
Mm,
uh like a simple website in which somebody can log in. We added the logout just to test out things as well. If we go down there, we can see the buy button easily. We can buy, and the transaction hash is over there. These two NFTs. And can we go on the code side to explain Chai a bit? It'd be good if you can explain that.
yeah. So we initially on use effect on mount, basically we initialize the Web3 auth instance, and then when the user clicks a button, we basically click on the connection and call web3 auth.connect, which returns to your provider, which you can directly import into Web3. I got
Hmm.
my accounts and a balance, and when the user clicks on buy item, I'm just
Right.
creating a Web3 instance, contract instance, and then I'm just sending the transaction to that. That's all.
As simple as that. Right. And this is the
Yeah.
front end part of it. We have already explained like how we put together the Solidity contract. And then we had to like use config to actually initialize Web3 auth inside of this in the
Yeah.
front end. Right.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
we just used inside of use effect, we initiated it. And
Mhm.
finally, just we made a transaction using like first connected the wallet and then made a transaction using it. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
I summarized it as
Mm.
well. That's so good. Like I got the gist of it. Thanks a lot, Chai. I guess
Yeah, no
that was
problem,
it
man.
for
Yeah.
this one. Right. So
Mhm.
if you have any questions, just drop here in the comment sections. We are always over here and we'll be able to answer that. We today learned
Mhm.
how to create like the whole NFT project, what we wanted to. And in the next video,
Mm.
we'll try to create something with Solana. So
Yeah.
let's try that in the next one. And that's perfect. Bye
I
everyone.